and talent can be developed through hard work, good strategies, persistence, dedication, and input from others. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus your energy on continuous learning and stop wasting time thinking about looking smart. Build resistance, build vulnerability, build courageousness, and face adversity with a smile. Become comfortable with uncomfortable. You know, the only person that you need to prove anything to is you. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Stop wasting time and get on with it. Failure is part of learning, so start learning by taking action.
Kristian Livolsi, welcome to the hot seat. You are streaming in from Bali today.
I am absolutely from Bali, and hopefully you guys can hear me and it's clear. I've been here for a couple of days and I'm here for another 5. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's 31 degrees and not too humid.
That sounds amazing. Amazing. Warm weather. I can't wait for that to come back. I can tell you we had another cold snap here in Sydney and it actually hailed this week as well. So random hail. But I hope you're having a fabulous time enjoying just a few short weeks until your wedding now. So you're off enjoying some time out before the big event.
I absolutely am. We've got there's 6, 7 of us already here, and there's another 2 arriving today and another 2 tomorrow. So it's the geriatrics are out. You know, we are definitely out in force. No, it's a good a good 7 days away, just recharging. But you know, for me, as you know, it never stops. I've just come off the back of 2.5 hours of calls and freeing up the rest of the afternoon. It's only 9:47 in the morning here at the moment, but the days always start early, regardless if we're on holidays.
It does, and we were I must say, the team and I were very excited to see you jump onto the morning huddle this morning. We weren't expecting you there, but it was a nice surprise to see you join us.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi. I missed you guys, even though I've only been away since Tuesday. But it was a pleasant surprise, I'm sure.
Yes, it definitely was. All right, let's get into this. We're here for the hot seat. Let's get this done and dusted, and you can get back to drinking cocktails or whatever it is you're spending your days doing at the moment. So why are we doing this? We're answering the questions that are coming in from our polls here on LinkedIn, whether you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube. Every week on LinkedIn, we deliver some polls out to our community, and we are answering the responses that are coming in from that because we want to really display the value that we give here at Business Growth Mindset. So we run a poll on your LinkedIn last week that was talking all about being on the hamster wheel and what it's like to be stuck in that motion with your time and attention. So I'm going to pop 2 minutes on the clock. We've got 3 questions to get through. My first question for you, Kristian, is how can you recognize if you are stuck in the hamster wheel type scenario in your business?
Why is it that everyone likes asking me this question? I should never have done a presentation on the hamster wheel. Okay, so how do you recognize it? Look, first thing is, when you are working long and tireless hours as a business owner, or even as an executive, that is, when you have an exhaustive list of staffing issues, your clients are not paying you on time, is also a really good sign that you are feeling the effects of the hamster wheel. Unrealistic client demands, as well as false expectations. The other one is that you're not making enough money. As business owners, I meet so many people at events where they I just don't feel like I'm making enough money. Well, if you love what you do, the money will come. And then you start to break down why, and it's because they're just spinning, constantly spinning in this hamster wheel, and it's a really vicious cycle. You don't have any time. If you're one of those people that says you don't have any time, then you are definitely in the hamster wheel. I've got all the time in the world. And anyone that knows my schedule, Tracy, who's probably listening to the call, my EA, who manages my life, she always says if people say they have no time, you have to meet Kristian because he's got plenty of it and he works all day. The other one is if you're not feeling valued. If anyone out there is not feeling valued, then you're likely in the hamster wheel. Okay, and also the one that's the most important to me is that your family life is non-existent because you're not present. So even while I'm away, I've been sending texts. I'm not sure the school's too happy about it. Text to Leonardo's iPad during the day, but tell him I love him and miss him. I have been, doing all of those little things. Making sure that I'm on the phone with kids in the morning and at night. That's the timer. So that's the list. Yeah, I was watching it. I was watching it on my clock, so it's great. That's starting to annoy you. I'm getting this right every time.
I know. I just want to catch you out. I just want to be like, nah, just cut you off. Okay, that was awesome. The second question is, what does a task review process consist of?
Wow, you are really hitting all the IP points, aren't you? All right. So in terms of the task review, I mean, we have a document that we use for this. You also created a really cool spreadsheet that makes it even easier. But a good task review process starts with a very simple list. Start with the word task at the top, and have three other columns really, which are frequency, time, and action. And what you want to do is write all the tasks that you do, the number of times that you do it, the number of time, how long it takes you to do it, and then break it down into whether or not you should actually do it, delegate it, outsource it, or delete it. And this is an exercise that I get our team to do quite regularly. I think we just did it all 2 weeks ago, and I'm always able to find an extra 15 minutes a day. And by the way, most people find 5 hours a week when they do this. I've become the master of time. And yeah, I always find 15 minutes. So it really, even if you're very good at working within the confines of a 24-hour day or a 168-hour week, these habits creep in. And you got to make sure. So if you haven't reviewed your own tasks for a while, then please make sure that you take this approach. Start with writing out all your tasks, the frequency, so how many times you do it a day or a week. That includes going to the bathroom, and then also how long it takes you. And then ask yourself really, really seriously: should I actually do this myself? Can I delegate it to someone in my team, or can I outsource it? Or is it such a shitty task that I could just delete it? And it's a really simple technique. And so many people don't do it. And it drives me crazy. And as I said, I can find 15 minutes almost every time we do it. But generally speaking, our clients find between 4 to 5 hours a week. There we go.
I love that. Yeah, that's really important. That is something that I do when people ask me, how do I manage working with business growth mindset, having my own business? I've got 3 kids. You've got to be really on point with all of your tasks. That's, definitely one of my hot tips as well. All right, my third question for you is, what should you implement to ensure that you are always moving forward in your business?
The $1 million question. Right. Look, I think let's keep it really simple. Goals. Really simple. Goals. And you hear all the self-help gurus of the world tell you that, and you'll hear Kristian Livolsi, the advisor, tell you that. You got to have goals. If you have goals, if you don't have any goals, you've got no destination that you're aiming for along your journey. So start by having goals, and don't have 100 of them. Have 3, and then break those goals down into 90-day priorities. That's what we do. We call them sprints, 90-day sprints. When I worked in an incubator, that raised $189 million in 12 months. We worked to sprints, 90-day sprints all the time. Regardless of the size, whether you're a startup or whether you're an elephant, bringing your team along the journey to work to 90-day sprints is singularly the best thing you can do to move your business forward. And you can do that more intelligently by learning process mapping. So we call it, process accountability charting. And we do that on the back of functional accountability charting, which is gap analysis. So if you want to move your company forward, start with some goals. Well, ideally start with a vision. I'm assuming you'd have a vision, right? Start with a reason why you're doing it, but then break down 3 goals, then break those goals into, 6 to 8, 90-day priorities. And, that's maximum. And then take those and break them down into to-do lists, another 8 small tasks on how you're going to do it. And if you do that, I can guarantee you that you will scale faster than you ever have. But more importantly, you'll also just get a lot of stuff done, and you will do it and you'll enjoy it. And, when we go back to anyway, there you go.
I love that. That's a really important point. And it is those smaller wins that makes you feel like you're getting so much more momentum and more success. And then it just compounds on top of that, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, life's about small wins. I used to spend my whole life searching for the big wins. And that led me to catastrophic failure because I wasn't failing often and I wasn't failing quickly. So I wasn't able to pivot and I wasn't able to see the challenges as they were appearing because I was too focused on the big picture, the really big goal that I was trying to achieve. And now we fail quickly, we fail often, and we fail forward, which means we're always learning. And to me, failing forward is a quality that everybody needs to learn. I often in my past life was always criticized for being an expert in failure and saying that I was an expert in failure. I was mocked by journalists, and I think it's really funny because I make more from a keynote talking about failure than I do anywhere else. And I think it's really important because, as I say all the time, for those of you that listen into these lives each week, and thank you, by the way, thank you, Simone, Tracy, but more importantly, every single person who invests 10 to 15 minutes of their life listening to me. And that's why I want to bring you value. The most important thing is success and failure leave clues. I'm pretty sure I stole that off Tony Robbins, but I am going to steal it and own it and do whatever it takes because it is really true.
Yeah.
And don't just listen to my failures. Don't listen to my successes. Ask really cool questions of people you meet. What's the worst thing someone's going to say to you? No, I don't want to share it with you. And if that's what someone says to you, they're not the right person to help you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, that's heartfelt leadership. It's authentic leadership. It's servant leedership. And as Jim Collins says, it's level 5. And, we're all about taking people from good to great. I've been on client calls this morning and I was on the call to one of the MDs of a large engineering firm, one of my clients, Jeremy. And I said, Jeremy, what do we need to talk about? He goes, why are you even speaking to me today? I know exactly where you are. I know what you're doing. and he goes, and I said, let's just, we've got some big things we've been working on. And we covered off. And in 3 minutes, he was just like, yeah. I said, we don't have anything to talk about. And it's like, that's when the magic, when you just hit that button and you just know. And, I'm incredibly grateful to all the people that are in my life, clients, family, you guys, my whole talent, as Simone always says, we're your talent. I'm like, yeah, not every day.
Talent. I like saying that. And just a personal share from my perspective, when I first reached out to you through LinkedIn and said, hey, I need a bit of a hand, I need some help. I was on that hamster wheel so significantly without actually the awareness that I couldn't even answer the questions that you were posing to me. I was just in this fog, in this cloud of not even knowing. And the one thing that you made me do was stop and just not do anything for 24 hours. And I actually really struggled with that whole concept. But just taking that pause allowed me to just reset and refocus and forge forward with so many different aspects. And I could see the opportunities coming from taking that pause.
Now, I want to just say that anyone listening, Simone just gave you the biggest solution to getting off the hamster wheel. So I'm not allowed to give solutions on these calls, apparently. That's why I get asked these questions and no one tells me what the questions are before they come in. So, seeing you gave it away, and hopefully everyone was listening, if you feel like you're experiencing any of the symptoms that I shared with you earlier, stop everything you're doing for 24 hours and see what happens to you. And when I did this to Simone, I do this to all my clients. And wow, I mean, I remember Simone going, "What in the hell?" And I said, "I know, you thought you could do it. Most people can't." And, you know, it just goes to show you, and all of a sudden you can just start to unpack everything that's happening to you. And very quickly you can come up with the answers. Resetting is not very hard, right? It's just you got to give yourself time to reset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Kristian Livolsi, thank you very much for your time. You are on your Bucks week of holiday.
I was just going to show you a better view of the swimming
Bali.
Well, I'm just going to show you a better view. So that's a swimming pool all the way through the center.
Wow.
So that's one pool. So and then the beach is, if I can, yeah, that's not going to work. But the beach is just there, right there.
That is
yeah, the guys have been sitting on beanbags down the beach
amazing.
drinking bucket loads of bintang, and I'm just like, guys,
I hope you're starting to work on some connections and making some rapport with the resorts over there, and then potentially our annual retreat for our Evolve Mastermind can go to Bali. Let's get out of Australia.
So I can tell you, Simone, that I called Lucy on Wednesday yesterday. I said, "Honey, I've already booked for us to come back at a family trip here. This is the Indigo in Seminyak, and it's a property that was built in 2017, launched in 2018, and then ravaged by COVID. So it is stunning. It's state of the art. It's just phenomenal. And I got to tell you something. If I thought that I was going to lose some weight before the wedding, we are eating so much. It's disgraceful. But I did go to the gym this morning. So I did, even on holiday, I went to the gym. Well, there was funny. There was, out of all the guests that are probably staying here, the 3 people that were in the gym was us. And 2 of them looked a little rough compared to me, who'd been in bed early. But anyway, not for that. But look, thank you. I look forward to seeing you all next week. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this amazing weather in the pool, and we're actually off to a beach club this afternoon. So that's going to be fantastic.
Reset, refocus, and align. We have our first live event coming up at the end of September. So if you are ready for to level up your business and get in and start making some progress and see 2022 end in a spectacular way, please feel free to reach out to myself or the BGM team to hear all about the features and the exciting things we do inside of Business Growth Mindset. So Kristian Livolsi, enjoy your holiday, and we will see you next week.
All right. Live with purpose, guys.
Bye-bye.
Are you ready to start taking action on your business? Would you like to spend more time with your family? Then call 1300-643-229 and start building momentum right now. I know you're busy. In fact, you are so busy that you don't have time to work on your business or yourself. Often tossing and turning at night, worrying about the how-tos and the cash flow. How on earth can you possibly get off the hamster wheel so that you can take a helicopter view to see where you'll be in 90 days, 1 year, or 3 years from now? In this program, I will take you from sleepless nights to blissful sleep. You'll have more time with your family, and you will have the clarity and direction so you can grow and flourish. Call 1300-643-229 now and start building momentum.